Today is Wednesday, January 18th, 2017. And there's a couple of big stories going on right now that involve the black community. And they also kind of center around Trump, but they speak to a much greater issue that's going on right now in the black community. Before we get to the actual issue of this video, I just want to say that right now what's happening is that there's a civil war going on in the black community. You get those that are trying to be truly progressive, meaning progressive in thought, progressive in how they behave, moving away from the Democrat slave plantation, and those that are still on the plantation. It's like you're a free black person trying to convince people that are on the plantation to leave, or you're a free black person just living their life being free, and the people that are on the plantation still are upset with you. That includes just the regular everyday, the day-to-day slaves, and also those that are like the overseers, those that are like right close to the master. They call you names and they project upon themselves that which they know that they are, that they try to make you be. I try to say, oh, you just trying to please white folks. You just a coon Uncle Tom. That's what they are. You know, they get paid by white people. They try to do things that make them, more acceptable in the white world as far as liberalism is concerned, which ain't nothing but a Democrat plantation. But I digress away from that point for now. What I want to do now is talk about Jennifer Holliday. Now, if you don't know who Jennifer Holliday is, she is an excellent singer. She's been around for a long time. She's right around my parents' age, in her late 50s, mid to late 50s. So she's, not like a new person, not a young person. She's been around for a long time, and she's, had a pretty good career. No kind of scandals or anything that I've ever heard of. She's pretty clean, and she's pretty much spotless from what I've been able to hear. And she has performed for other presidents before, but recently she was tapped to appear at the inauguration to perform for Trump. Now, I don't want to get into all the details because I do have video I'll play here in which she kind of explains what's happening. But basically, she was saying that she hadn't confirmed what was going to happen yet, but just from the rumor or allegations of her going, she got a lot of negative feedback from the black community. Now, what I want to do right now is go ahead and roll it. I will not play the entire thing because I don't want the view to strike me here, but I'll play most of it. That's the relevant part. And I'll put the rest in the description box below, and I'll cut in occasionally to give you my 2 cents on what's being said, because I know when I cut in, you'll know that I'm going to cut in, because what is going to be said, I'll have to cut in. So without further ado, go ahead and roll it.
You were going to go and perform, and what happened?
Well, first of all, I woke up, I got the call about on Wednesday night. Mm-hmm. And so we began to talk about everything about doing it. I was just trying to think if I wanted to do it. Then Friday morning, I woke up and there was like this whole thing of terrible tweets and things on my Instagram. And I was like, oh, Lord, what did I do? I couldn't even think about what I do. And they were like, you're singing at the... I was like, I am? What happened? Because we hadn't really finalized everything yet. Yeah. And I was like, oh, my goodness, because I didn't know they were going to announce it and stuff. And I was like, oh, my goodness, And my publicist said, well, people want to talk to you. I was like, oh, my goodness, I've never had any... Because, I've led a pretty reclusive life. Right, I pretty much stay to myself. Right. And then you're not on the radio, and then one morning you wake up and everybody hates you. And I'm like, what could I have possibly done to have this kind of things thrown at me?
Well, why did you initially consider performing at the inauguration?
That wonderful gem right there that asked that question is a person named Sunny Hostin. Now, Sunny Hostin is kind of a racially ambiguous person. I'm not quite sure if she's black, white, Puerto Rican, candy stripe, whatever it is. I'm not really sure what she is. But that question was very loaded. It was like, why did you consider doing it? Like, was she asked that question if it was Hillary Clinton? Why'd you consider going there? I mean, as a president, this is the president that we have. Why not go sing for the president? It was a loaded question. She said it to say, without saying, you shouldn't have gone to sing, and you should not have even considered. What makes you think that you should go? Why would you even do something like that? That's basically what that was. And it's a roundabout way of saying whatever kind of negative feedback you got from that, you brought on yourself for even considering it.
Because I'm an artist and I love America.
And that was a great answer from Miss Jennifer Holliday. Perfect answer. I'm a singer. I'm an American. I love America. That is all that needs to be said right there. Because if you have performed for other people, you were just tapped to perform this time. It's like, hey, I'm considering going, or I may have confirmed to go because look, I'm an American. I'm a singer. That's what I do. Why not?
It just didn't dawn on me. I have performed for 4 other presidents. You know, I started with Ronald Reagan, Daddy Bush, the Clintons, and during their 8-year time, and during the 8-year time of even the Clintons, they had people who were of different kinds. The Clintons had all kinds of friends. It really wasn't a thing back then. Yeah. And so I didn't think anything of it. And I was like, oh, they want me to sing? Oh, my goodness. I could see myself on the mall like Marian Ellis. I'm saying, America. And I'm like trying to think about what I'm going to wear. I just really did not, it didn't dawn on me that this was like a bad thing and we weren't doing America right now. It was like, we're not doing America right now. I was like, oh, okay.
When you called up the Trump people and you said, and I'm telling you I'm not going, what was the response? What was the response?
Actually, I didn't call them up. I just sent, an email and just said that it had gotten out of hand, that I was even receiving death threats at this point. Wow. And I had never experienced...
Which is never okay.
Which is never okay. And I was receiving death threats from black people. Yeah. I had been from black people, the N-word from black people. From black people who were saying they were going to kill me, who were going to say...
How do you know those were black people?
Because I read everything. You know how you say, because at first I said, are these white people just messing with me? And I said, and I would push the button to see who was calling me, because your face is there. Right. You can look at their thing or whatever. And I'm going, oh my God, these are black people calling me this. And they were saying, I should kill myself, or, someone should kill me.
Are you kidding
All
me?
over singing a song. I said, I just wanted to sing. I don't really understand. And so it did take people to point out to me, why that they felt it was the wrong decision.
What was it that ultimately led you to say, I have to do something different here? Was it that you felt it was wrong, or was it the bullies? What was it?
No, I felt exactly like I said. The Daily Beast letter used my words to me, things that I had said with the community. So they said to me, if your words are true, and you're not a liar all of these years, otherwise everything that you have said and you have done is a lie. And I'm not a liar, nor a hypocrite. And I haven't done anything to be called names. I said I've never been called. I grew up in a mixed middle-class neighborhood. I've never even, in Texas, and I've never been called the N-word.
But you know what?
And I was like, wow, we've come to this.
This is part of the reason why I encourage people, stay off your Twitter.
Now, of course, Whoopi would say, hey, don't look at your Twitter. Like somehow, if you just, turn off your Twitter, turn off your Instagram or whatever, all the bad comments just go away in the ether. Like that won't affect you in real life. She was getting serious threats, death threats and everything else. So how can you say just turn off your Twitter and it's going to solve your problems? You understand what I'm saying? I mean, you don't have to pay attention to social media and what's going on there. But when it really becomes serious threats, I mean, people get arrested for something like that. I think somebody had threatened Trump on Twitter and the police came to his door. So the internet, it ain't like it's just a fake place. These people is real people behind these computers and these tablets and devices or whatever, their phones. Is real people making these statements. A lot of times they don't mean what they say, but sometimes they might. You really don't know. And a lot of these people, halfway retarded, they don't even really know what's going on. I'm not talking about people that are actually mentally disabled, like the man that was kidnapped and tortured. I'm talking about those that torture him. A lot of them are half brainless themselves, but they know what they're doing when they went out there and kidnapped that young man that had the mental disability. They knew what they were doing. They set it up and they planned it. People like that may go out there and do things to somebody that does not deserve it.
Yeah.
Don't read your Twitter, because the people who are tweeting you, don't know anything about
Trump
you.
too right now.
Well,
when they speak that way, they're as bad as him. They're as bad as him. They're as bad as him.
All right, so you're able to see what's going on there. You see kind of the whole thing. You see the general gist of it, and you see what she's gone through. Now, this is common for those of us that are on the right, those of us that identify as conservative in the black community. That's almost an everyday experience. Well, not quite to that extreme, but we get lesser degrees of it. I get it on my channel all the time. A lot of people, low IQ, don't understand what's going on and not even trying to understand someone else's point of view. And these people claim to be so liberal. They would have voted for Hillary Clinton in a heartbeat and not even thought nothing about it. It wouldn't have been any kind of death threats if she was to go sing for Hillary Clinton. Just like there was no death threats to Jay-Z and Beyonce when they went and had the concert, where was it, in Cleveland or whatever that was. There was no death threats there. and the people that came to Barack Obama's White House, all these rappers that are on the screen before you, they didn't get any kind of death threats, nor did they get called mediocre Negroes, which is a whole different video, and I digress. It's all about Trump and just people not wanting to have him in office. So anybody loosely associated with him, they get the utmost hate. And the reason why the hate is so vicious and it's so, so visceral, it's so guttural, is because it's not been checked at the highest level. Barack Obama is not out there speaking against Black Lives Matter and the kind of violence that they incite throughout the nation. He has them at the White House talking about you're doing a great job. He's validating them. So then when you got Obama talking about, you're doing a great job, etc., that kind of gives license to those that are out there, just a regular individual that's not necessarily politically inclined, nor are they really intellectually gifted enough to be able to understand that this is not okay. You can't just go out there and threaten people. And of course, it was all black folks. It ain't gonna be too many whites doing that, because the conservatives are not going to threaten anybody. That didn't even happen when Obama came into office. And the truth is, without a lot of white conservatives, Barack Obama would not have been able to be in office twice. That's the truth, because you had to be able to get people from all sides. Conservatives, liberals, blacks, whites, Asians, Hispanics, everybody. You had to get everybody kind of on board. You got to get a lot of people on board in order to make that happen. 100 counties that voted for Obama have switched to Donald Trump this time. So it ain't about racism on the right. It's about racism on the left, especially from the black left. The whites ain't really going to do it because, like I said, the conservatives ain't going to do it. And the liberals, they want to do it, but they use black folks to do it. They'll put them on their TV shows and have them say things that are against those of us on the right and those of us that kind of veer against the Democrat plantation. They'll do that. They'll use them for that purpose, but they won't go and do it themselves. Occasionally, you might get a Jew or somebody like that that's not really white, and then they'll say something like the dude, I forget his name. He was a gay Jew, and he said something to Paris Denard. He used the N-word on TV, which he knows he can't do, but he did that to get a reaction, a visceral reaction. But he can kind of hide behind the fact that he's a homosexual and he's a Jew and he's not white, right? That's why he did it. Occasionally, they'll do something like that, but just a straight up regular white person, especially a heterosexual white male, they can't do anything like that, even if it is for the cause of keeping the Negro in their place on a Democrat plantation. But this is really sad. Jennifer Holliday is a nice lady. I never heard anything bad about her. You could tell by how she was talking that she was just a pretty nice, sweet as pie. Why would anybody try to give her death threats or anything like that? See, as I close, this is all because of Barack Obama, the Black Lives Matter stuff, all these riots, all the racial tension that's been allowed to flourish. People like the mayor of Baltimore, Stephanie Rawlings Blake, we gave them space to destroy, etc. Stuff like that kind of gives validation to these terrorist style groups. And then they're able just to go out there and they got carte blanche to do whatever they want because there's never any kind of punishment. People say that the criminal justice system is against blacks, but is it really? A lot of these things that happen go unpunished or they get slaps on the wrist. And this is why these individuals are out here to be able to do whatever they want to do, make terrorist threats, hurt people, harass people, burn things, shoot people, or whatever else is going on. Already in Chicago, you have over 100 people that got shot. Over 100. I think it's like 28 that have been murdered already in 2017. So at a certain point, we got to understand something's going on and something was really amiss here. And if we don't check it, it's going to get worse because that's the only thing that's going to be able to fix it. That's the only thing that's going to be able to stop it. You're going to see more death threats. You're going to see more crazy incidents like what happened in Dallas, unfortunately, which is ironically where Miss Jennifer Holliday is from. You got the black folks out there killing white police officers and black folks also threatening black people just for wanting to go sing at the inauguration for a president. So what do you think? Do you think that this whole thing about Jennifer Holliday is just another line of things that comes from the didn't do left that are sponsored and controlled by their white masters? That's what I think, and it's really an embarrassment to humanity, really, to allow yourself to be controlled and manipulated by a small minority of people on planet Earth, right? The liberal left extremists. You allow yourself to be controlled by them to go against your own best interests, because your own best interest, black people, as I close, is to have the assistance of other blacks that have been able to be successful in life, But then when you come against the Steve Harveys and the Ray Lewises and etc., you're only going to put yourself on the island. And then when things really fall apart and when the country really comes into turmoil, much more than what it is now, you won't have anybody there to protect you. Your Twitter, your Instagram, and all of that won't protect you when things really get tough. But do you think that Jennifer Holliday deserved whatever she got? Now, if that's your assertion, please give me a cogent and reasonable reason in the box below. Explain to me that. Why does this lady who just want to go out there and sing, why does she deserve to get this kind of treatment? How can that be something that you can really endorse or condone? I know I'm gonna get a bunch of coon Uncle Tom or whatever, but that all those words just come from the low IQ left that can't do anything. They got just one word that they're given by their white liberal masters. They're given permission to say these words. They can't go out there and read anything else because the white liberals don't want them to do that. The white liberals say you can't read, so you know what? You got to have so-called voting rights because you can't go out there and go to the DMV and get an ID because you can't read because you're too retarded to do it. So guess what? We're going to do everything for you. And don't let the person over there on the right, the free black, try to tell you to pick up this book and read, to tell you to, hey, go to the DMV and get an ID. No. Because they're going to make you be free and we want you to be in bondage. But that's all I got for this video. Whatever your comments are, let me know in the comments below. That's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.